it comes to the Halloween franchise on physical media, Halloween H20 has quite the history. Today, let's talk about that history and pick which version of the movie is the best. Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Halloween H20 on physical media. I want to chronicle the beginning of its journey to where it is now, and all the releases in between. Now, in preparing for this video, I actually learned something new about Halloween H20 that I had never known before. That's where it began its journey on physical media. In September of 1998, the first release officially of Halloween H20 was actually a demo VHS screener. Now, I'm showing this on the screen here, and spoiler alert, I actually just picked this up on eBay, so I can't wait to show you guys that when I get it. But I had no idea this existed. Now, technically, this was not put out on the market for consumers to just buy. This was sent to video retailers before the film would actually be released on physical media in any form. However, as the years have gone on, collectors have been able to track down and get their hands on some of these, and I'm about to as well. I didn't know this was even a thing back in the 90s, so I don't know, this was cool to learn, and it's going to be even cooler to own. The first official release of Halloween H20, Michael Myers was home just in time for Christmas. In December of 1998, Buena Vista put out the VHS of Halloween H20. Now, again, like with most of these VHSs of the time, there's really nothing spectacular about them. It's kind of just nostalgia. Like, oh yeah, I remember seeing these as a kid in the movie stores being filled with these and buying these and renting these. That's really all it is. However, I'm more sentimental to the last few Halloween movies in the franchise on VHS because it was right before VHS died out. Now, I just want to say they absolutely made the right decision in not keeping the "This summer terror won't be taking a vacation" tagline on the cases for most of the physical media releases. I don't know, it's just weird that this came out in the summertime. It just doesn't feel right. But I love this thing, and I remember actually having this in our home as a child, if I remember correctly, because my mom actually liked this one. So, I don't know, kind of takes me back before the soul-crushing depression that is getting older and withering away slowly before my own eyes. Now, the next release was in 1999, and that was a DTS laserdisc. Now, I said in my Halloween the Curse of Michael Myers video, and I misspoke, that it was the last one to get a laserdisc release. Actually, Halloween H20 was. However, Laserdisc was just about to die, so most people didn't even know. And let me just tell you guys, this thing goes for ridiculous prices online. On eBay, you can't get it cheaper than $300. Now, I know that Laserdiscs, especially collector's item Laserdiscs, are gonna go for a few $100, but I don't know, it's hard to justify spending that much. However, it's the last Laserdisc in the Halloween franchise. So Lord knows I'll probably end up buying it eventually. Then in 1999 came the first DVD release of Halloween H20, the Dimension Collector Series. And let me tell you guys an interesting story about this. Alright, so it's the exact same artwork as the VHS, aside from the fact that it says Dimension Collector Series on the banner up there. And it's a clamshell. You know how much I love clamshells. But there's no disc art, but there's a chapter insert. But boy, does Nick have a story about this chapter insert. Being the nerd that I was when I first began collecting the Halloween franchise on physical media, I remember seeing all over the internet that this was supposed to have a chapter insert in it. But mine didn't. And I was mad. I couldn't believe that. I was like, where is my chapter insert? I didn't buy this used. Did they just leave one out and I happened to get that one? Well, fret not. Because I happened to be at the mall a couple years later and saw a DVD of Halloween H20, and I popped that case open. I can't remember if it was FYE or Suncoast, and there was a chapter insert in there. And I took the chapter insert home. Now, before anybody gives me crap, I was owed that. It was supposed to come in here, and it didn't. And I didn't take the movie, I just took the chapter insert. If anything, I'm just passing it down the line. Now that person that bought that one's like, where's my chapter insert? That's Buena Vista's fault. That's not my fault. That's nobody else's fault but theirs. And that's a true story. One way or another, I was going to get that chapter insert, and by God, I got it. Now, the coolest thing about this release, aside from the Creed music video, which is just incredible to put as a special feature on your horror film, but, I like Creed by the way, but there was finally a making of documentary for Halloween H2O. Now, it's only around 20 minutes long. It's called Unmasking the Horror, but it was cool. Then in 2011, Echo Bridge Home Entertainment continued their run of shit releases in the Halloween franchise with their DVD release of Halloween H2O. And what's so bad about this, Nick? Well, it looks and sounds pretty freaking bad, even by DVD standards. Also, what is that cover art? You're just gonna put a shot from the movie with the terrible mask? Like, what is this? And it's blurry too. Like, it's like, what? There's also no special features on this thing. There's really nothing about this that is worth your time at all. And although there is some disc art, this barcode is insanely frustrating. And Echo Bridge did that for all of their releases for these movies. I don't get it. Why did I buy it? Because I'm a completionist. Do I wish I hadn't? Still, I don't know. Will I ever watch it or recommend it to anybody again? Absolutely not. And then piggybacking off of that, you had the Halloween Collection DVD set that Echo Bridge pumped out, which is H2O, Resurrection, and Curse. Really weird how they listed it that way too, like 7, 8, 6. Makes sense. Look, this was yet again just their attempt at pumping these bare bones, absolutely awful editions of the Halloween films out on physical media just to try to make a quick buck. I really have nothing more to say about this. I got this as a gift from a friend for my birthday one year, so, I have it, but ugh. And not to be outdone, Echo Bridge made sure to release a Blu-ray as well, with the exact same artwork on the disc, on the case, on the back. No special features, and mind you, the transfer here is better than the DVD, of course, but it's not good. I talked about this when I talked about Curse. Only one of their 3 transfers on Blu-ray was actually passable, and sadly, it wasn't the 2 movies I like. It's the one I don't, and I can't wait to do that video. But look, this is a piss-poor Blu-ray release. It just is. Next up is the first release where Halloween H2O actually got its due, and that is the Blu-ray that was included in the Complete Collection box set, but unfortunately has that damn tagline on it. It's so cringe. Regardless, this was the first time that H2O was done justice. First and foremost, this transfer is really good. The movie looks good and it sounds good. I love the casing. I've been over that with you guys a million times. And there's actually special features on here. There are interviews from back in the late 90s of the cast and crew. There's behind the scenes footage. There's a commentary moderated by Sean Clark with Jamie Lee Curtis and Steve Miner. And there's a new making of Halloween H2O featurette. And again, especially at the time, that really meant a lot to me. I've always loved special features. And for once, I finally got to dive into some new H2O special features. And it's crazy that up to that point, we really hadn't gotten much because this movie was successful. I don't know why they didn't give this better treatment. Maybe because Resurrection sullied the brand just 4 years later, but I digress. Now, I just want to say before I show the last edition that I'm going to talk about today, I know in 2023 Paramount put out a 4K of Halloween H2O. No, I did not buy it. Not because I didn't want to, because I already have a 4K of H2O, and I had gotten it just a year earlier. So I viewed it as, look, unless people are telling me this thing is way better in presentation, it has a ton more special features, I'm just not going to double dip in a year. I'm not going to do that. So if you guys have that, let me know what you think of it. But for me, the best edition of Halloween H2O, and the one I am happiest to own, probably aside from the VHS, is the 4K. Look, I have said this ad nauseum in these videos, and I have to give credit where it's due. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. No, Scream Factory did a bang-up job with these. Now, I did mention that some of their alternate artwork I'm not a huge fan of. H2O's is one of them. I do not like that at all. I really, really don't. What's he doing with his hand? But again, like the other ones, I just reverse the artwork on the inside there, and I get the classic look. Now, this has all of the special features from that Scream Factory Blu-ray imported onto this, as well as a really cool minor touch, but it meant a lot to me, and that is being able to watch some of the original scenes composed with John Ottman's music on them. That's really cool to me because I like Ottman's score. I think for what he and they were going for in bringing this movie back, I think it works. So watching some of those scenes, while sometimes I feel like it's a little too big, I would have much preferred it to whatever the hell we got with Beltrami and Ottman. I cannot stress enough how incredible this transfer is. The movie has never looked as good as it does here. It's never sounded as good as it does here. You get every special feature up to this point and then a little bit more. And per usual, Scream Factory does a bang-up job on their disc art. You've got the original artwork for the Blu-ray and then the alternate artwork for the 4K. Look, I can't say enough about this release. And look, I could be sitting here rambling about this and some of you guys are probably thinking, oh my gosh, the Paramount 4K is so much better. If that's the case, please let me know down below, because if it actually is that noticeable, I'm gonna buy it. Like, I want to, but I never really heard that it was. I don't know. But look, Halloween H2O, the best edition to get is this 4K, period. However, if you haven't upgraded to 4K yet and you're still a Blu-ray person, this edition is great too. But in my opinion, one of these two is the only edition that you should be owning of this movie. Now, before I sign off here, I do want to say that I was talking to Christian and he told me that there was some kind of computer format for Halloween H2O way back in the day. Something to where you could only watch it one time and then you'd have to like pay to watch it again, but he wasn't remembering off the top of his head what that was. And in searching Google, I couldn't find anything about that. So if any of you guys are familiar with what he is referencing, please let me know down in the comments section. But aside from that, that is all of the recorded physical media history of Halloween H2O in the United States. There's some truly great releases near the back end, but sadly for almost about 20 years, Halloween H2O really got the shaft. So it was high time we finally got some good releases of the film. But I want to know down in the comments section below what you guys think. What is your favorite edition of Halloween H2O? What is your least favorite? What is one that you still don't have but you need to get your hands on? Whatever it is, please comment down below and let me know. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.